So when it comes to public procurement, in the UK we're spending close to £400 billion a year. But despite that spend, there are still significant challenges.
We created IPEC because we saw the huge potential for public procurement to stimulate commercial opportunities and deliver better services. IPEC is important for public procurement because we recognise that decision makers needed support to change the way they use their spending power and how they engage the market.
IPEC has been set up to empower public authorities across the UK to use procurement as a strategic driver to bring more innovation in and solve problems in a completely new way. That's through co-developing, focusing on outcome-based challenges, co-creation, iteration, experimentation, and then scaling ideas that are working through a good business case.
The key challenges the public sector faces when adopting innovative solutions is making sure the systems are in place to make the changes required. Innovation equals change, and it doesn't just mean change in a single place. It means that wider business cases and wider impacts need to be considered, and including medium and long-term investment. We funded the IPEC initiative because we really believe that procurement can be used to both stimulate innovation and increase the efficacy and efficiency of public sector delivery.
IPEC is focused particularly on local government, and that's because we think that in local government there are so many opportunities to use procurement in an innovative way. And it doesn't have to be a big project. It can be quite a small project, just engaging local people or local suppliers. If you look at a number of big cities, for example, which Amsterdam is probably the leader, they have a procurement team in Amsterdam that pulls in ideas from citizens about changes that need to be made. And in many cases, they then go out and look for suppliers and have placed contracts. It's this sort of imaginative thinking that we need in local government. This is why we call it the Empowerment Centre. It's not for us to do procurements, but it's for us to give you the tools to empower you to really take those local strategic decisions. And if you do that really well, all the evidence is that if you encourage local companies to supply you, then you develop much more of an innovative local system to get small businesses to supply to you.
Westminster decided to take part in the cohort programme because we had a really difficult challenge that we were looking to solve, and that was around improving air quality and helping us reach our targets of improving air quality to below World Health Organization limits. We've made great progress in improving it in relation to transport emissions, but emissions from commercial cooking has stayed steady with no declines, and that's forecast to continue in the future. So in order to tackle this problem, we really need to explore innovation as a way of addressing that particular problem.
One of the biggest challenges this year with the IPEC cohort was how do we create a curriculum? Because in some senses it's starting from scratch. There really isn't that much innovation, procurement, empowerment material out there already. But in another sense, we have to weave in what comes from procurement professionals, what comes from legal professionals. So it was a really challenging task.
The curriculum has been developed by first engaging with local councils to understand where their innovation procurement needs are, so what support might they need, and then we've responded to that by developing a series of different activities and learning tools to help address those missing gaps that will help local councils to feel more empowered and more confident when they come to their innovation procurement practices.
I think that what we look towards in future to kind of even improving upon that great content we provided this year is making it even more interactive and accessible.
I think it's one of the nicest roles and challenging roles in the public sector, because we're fundamentally trying to drive change through empowering local authorities, regional authorities and national authorities to use procurement in a new way. But it's not just about the procurement element, it's about driving a new culture. How do we empower the public agencies to work differently, to be more entrepreneurial and add real value to taxpayers who want these challenges solved even faster? So anyone watching this video, if you're a local authority or a public body, please visit ipec.org.uk and it will showcase how we can use some of the tools that we have to help you better use procurement as a driver for innovation.
IPEC exists to empower people like you. So come to us with your challenges and your questions, share your examples of brilliant practice, dig into our research and join the conversation so that we can continue to empower many more people and drive the transformation that we all want to see.